away from my 401k. The government now pushing to lock up private retirement accounts as more people tap into them to pay their bills. The two senators pushing the legislation say they're trying to protect Americans for the future, but are they going too far? Hi, everybody. I'm Cheryl Casoni, and welcome to Cashin' In. Our Cashin' In crew this week, Wayne Rogers, Jonathan Honig, Tracy Burns, along with radio talk show host and the president of Gov't Capital Management, Gary Gov't, and Democratic strategist Jamu Green with us as well. So welcome to all of you. And Jonathan, I want to start with you. You're the money manager here. Does the government have a right to tell us what to do with our 401ks?
Cheryl, government is supposed to act as our protector, not our parent. I mean, honestly, Senator Cole knows what's best for my family, for my investments. This is private money. It's money that folks, individuals have earned. And the notion that government knows what's for your own good, or they should tell you how to invest, what debts to pay off, how to put your money to work, it's absurd. You should be able to invest how you want, when you want, and government should have no role in influencing you to invest in anything or make any behavior in that regard. But
Wayne, I think the senator's concern here is that people are going too far and borrowing against their 401k. They're acting irresponsibly. Whether or not that's their right, that's a different story. But we have seen at this point more than 27% of folks out there borrowing against their 401k, and that number goes up every year. It's a little disconcerting.
It may be disconcerting, but I think it is the point. I think it is exactly the point. It is your money. You have every right. If you want to go to Vegas and gamble it, you can go to Vegas and gamble it. You have earned the money. You've put it in a 401k. That's still your money. Suppose you didn't elect to put it in a 401k and you just spent it. It's still your money. The government has absolutely no right to tell you what to do with your money. And for them to interfere, there's a whole insidious philosophy here about the government getting into our business on every level. This is just another example of it. They're going to somehow protect us. If we're not so irresponsible we can't protect ourselves, we shouldn't be here.
Jamu, is this idea going just a little too far when it comes to personal, individual rights?
Absolutely not. It's actually laudable that these two senators, a Republican and a Democrat, are trying to help Americans be more fiscally responsible. And I think what Jonathan and Wayne totally forgot in this debate is that it's retirement savings. Yeah. This is not your savings account that they're going into your personal savings account, at Bank of America. This is your retirement savings. And we have a serious problem
do you know what?
in what people will need between what they will need and what they will have saved. There's a $6.6 trillion gap that is developing and growing.
But do you know how many
it is
people,
laudable that they're trying to attack this.
I mean, Cheryl, the reason that number keeps going up is because we are still in a recession here, and if that money were not available to many people, they couldn't have paid bills. They couldn't have fed their kids. Those loans came in handy. And to Wayne's point, it's my money. I use it the way I want to use it. And if I opt to pay withdrawal penalties and extra taxes, that's my own dumb decision. But I'm making that decision because I need to feed my kids. Not because I'm worried about what's going to happen 50 years from now.
Jamu, I have to say, when you said that comment, I think, Wayne, you already put him in the grave at that point. He about had a heart attack. But let me take this to Gary Gov't for just a second. Gary, from a money management perspective, again, I go to it. This is our money. We've put it away. Why should the government have the right to tell us what to do with it and when?
Well, look, it's the continuance of the nanny state. They're going to tell us what to eat, where to walk, where to bicycle, and now what to do with your money. And I have to tell you, I find it ironic that two of the people that cannot balance their own checkbook in Washington, that have actually castrated the taxpayer going forward, are now going to tell us what to do with our own money that's in our 401ks. It's abysmal to even watch something like this, and it's not going to stop. They've been getting away with it for a while, and unfortunately nobody's doing anything about it.
Jonathan?
Yeah, Cheryl, I mean, it's the same government that has pushed you into index funds for the last 10 years that have been dead money and keeps you out of investments like Facebook and, I don't know, LinkedIn, which went public this week to a massive payoff. I mean, Obama's hit the nail on the head. For the government to lecture anyone about, what's a good investment, how to be responsible with their money is an absurd, not to mention the fact that all these rules, supposedly, Jamu, to help you are totally arbitrary, totally confusing, and you're taking a loan. You're taking a loan from yourself. How you invest is your business.
But Jonathan,
none of the
they're
government's
not
responsibility.
stopping the ability for you to take a loan. They are just limiting
From
it.
yourself.
And I would say maybe three
It's your
withdrawals is
money.
too small. Perhaps it could be 5. Another great thing with this bill is that it stops the debit cards coming at, that are attached to your 401k, which can be really dangerous. This is
money.
pragmatic. It is reasonable, and it is for retirement
Can I just say
savings.
it's a precursor? It's a precursor to what we saw in Argentina, what we saw in Europe, which is basically the government confiscating private pension plans.
Let me bring in Wayne. Guys, let me bring in Wayne into this, because, Wayne, I think the idea here might be a good one. They're trying to protect Americans who may be acting irresponsibly with their 401ks. We don't want to see folks in wheelchairs on the streets 30 years from now.
It's not their business. That's something more fundamental here. You talk about the government. It's a wonderful thing. The government's going to protect us from ourselves. Please, it's not their job. It's none of their business. They should get out of it, and that's a fundamental right. We are responsible people, or we're not. Are we going to ask the government to take care of us just because we're irresponsible? Because you're irresponsible? If you're irresponsible, you can't do it. You should be punished for it, not be rewarded for it. And, Jamu, you're all wrong there. You're asking these people to put aside something. You're saying, for their future. It's wrong that they should even have to do that. It's their money. They should be able to do with it what they want. It's none of the government's business.
That is absolutely not what 401ks were designed for. Again, you can have a savings account at your bank of your choice, but 401ks were designed for retirement savings. And in this conversation, I think all of the fellas are totally forgetting that point.
But it's also got to be there in case of emergency. It is my money. There are hardship withdrawals. Many things are allowed. To limit that kind of stuff, you don't know what's going to happen. And you know what? And if the government had half a brain, hell, they'd be encouraging me to take money out because of the taxes and the withdrawal fees. They'd be making money off it.
And there was a bigger bottom line here.
The fact that it's designed that way is immaterial. It doesn't matter. The government can design all kinds of programs. We don't have to do it. You're asking us to be forced to do it. That's the difference.
Gary, let me bring in Gary to this, guys. Hold on. Let me bring in. Gary's been trying to get in for the last 2 minutes.
To do a 401k.
Hi, Gary. How are you? Go ahead and jump in. I know you're trying to get in.
The bigger bottom line here is these are people that have been failures at handling of money, and they're trying to tell us what to do with our money. It's like Bernie Madoff trying to tell me how to manage my client's money. It is absolutely insane. These people do not know what they're doing, but they want to dictate policy to us. Crazy.
I will say one thing to Jamu, and I do see your point in a way. This idea, this legislation does allow folks to go and borrow up to 3 times. So it's a threshold. It's not necessarily saying you can never borrow against your 401k. I mean, from a money management perspective, it might make some sense.
Absolutely. It is helping Americans be more fiscally responsible. There are so many people who are not taught about saving. So many young people, so many people from vulnerable communities, they're not taught about saving. And when 401ks were designed to help ease people into saving money in larger quantities and to help from a retirement savings standpoint. Again, this is not your personal saving.
But then teach the kids in school. Teach the kids in school. You don't need another law. You don't need another bill. Teach the kids in school how to manage money and let them make their own decisions.
But Jonathan, final point to you. Is it the government's right to tell us what to do with our retirement savings?
Yeah, I mean, Cheryl, the money doesn't know whether it's in a 401k, whether it's in gold bars under your couch. I mean, it doesn't, it's your money. You work the hours for it. Call Palm hits the nail on the head. For the government to be lecturing us about fiscal prudence is idiotic, and it keeps us out of making ultimately more efficient and sounder decisions with our money.
I have a feeling Gary's got a lot of gold hidden somewhere, probably in his couch. All right, guys.